74% of homeowners have regrets about their remodel. Not a few grumbles, 3 out of 4 people, standing in a finished room they paid real money for, wishing they had chosen differently. And flooring is where those regrets live the longest, because a bad paint color is a weekend fix, but a bad floor stares back at you every single morning for 15 years. So this week I collected the flooring regrets homeowners keep reporting, the choices that looked perfect in the store and turned into daily annoyances within a year or two. 7 of them counted down to the one people regret most. Stay to the end, because number 1 is the mistake almost everyone makes on their very first flooring purchase, and it is completely avoidable if you know one number. Quick note on why this video might be the most useful one on this channel. Every regret you're about to hear was avoidable, not with more money, with more information. The store will never tell you this stuff because the store is not the one living on the floor. The people who are just told us. Let's count them down. Number 7, the sample lied. You bring home a little square of flooring, hold it up in the store lighting, love it, order 1,000 square feet. Then it gets installed and it is a different floor. Too dark, too orange, too gray. Nothing like the sample. Here is why it happens. Small samples read darker than a full floor because your eye judges a little square completely differently than 1,000 square feet of it. Showroom lighting is nothing like your home. Those stores are lit like operating rooms. And the same plank literally changes character through the day. Warm in morning sun, flat and gray at night, which is why a floor that looked cozy at the store can feel cold in your living room. The fix cost you nothing but patience. Get the biggest sample you can, lay it in the actual room, and live with it for a full day. Morning light, evening light, lamp light. If you still love it after 24 hours in your own house, order it. Never marry a floor you only met under fluorescent lights. Number 6, the floor that echoes. Nobody thinks about sound in the showroom, and then they move in and every footstep is a clack. The dog sounds like a tap dancer, and the whole room has a hollow, clicky echo. This is the classic floating floor complaint, and the trade press literally calls noise laminate's weak spot because a floating floor sits on an air gap that can act like a drum. The cause is almost always the cheap part nobody upgrades, the underlayment. A quality underlayment with real sound absorption turns that clatter into a dull, solid thud. It costs a fraction of the flooring, and it is the difference between a floor that sounds expensive and one that sounds like a laptop keyboard. If you go floating floor, never cheap out on the layer under it. Number 5, tile everywhere. Tile in the kitchen, smart. Tile in the bathroom, smart. Tile across the entire house, and a lot of people in warm states do this, is where the regret kicks in. Homeowners describe the same 3 things. It is cold, even in summer mornings. It is punishingly hard. Your legs and back feel a long day of standing on it, and everything you drop is gone. One homeowner put it perfectly. Anything that fell, including plastic, was guaranteed to shatter. Tile is the most durable surface you can buy. We said so in our material showdown. But durable for the floor is not the same as comfortable for the human. Use tile where water lives. Think twice before you give it every room in the house. Number 4, the do-it-yourself disaster. Here's a stat that should give every confident weekend warrior a pause. In a survey of do-it-yourself projects people regret, installing floor tile ranked number 1, the single most regretted do-it-yourself project in the home, ahead of everything else. Refinishing hardwood also made the top 3, and a third of do-it-yourselfers ended up hiring a pro just to fix their own work. The pattern is always the same. The video tutorial made it look easy. The subfloor was not flat, the cuts went sideways, and now there is a lippage ridge in the hallway you feel with your toe every night. Some floors are genuinely do-it-yourself friendly. Click vinyl in a simple room is very doable. But tile, stairs, patterns, and anything on a bad subfloor punish beginners. Be honest about which job is yours because you do not save money on an install you pay someone to redo. Number 3, the wrong floor in the wet room. This one shows up constantly, and it is pure heartbreak. Someone puts beautiful laminate or real hardwood in a kitchen, a bathroom, a basement. It looks incredible for a year. Then the dishwasher drips or the toilet seal weeps or the basement gets humid and the floor is done. Laminate's core soaks water like a sponge and swells permanently, and wood cups and stains. We have covered this before, but it keeps making the regret lists because people keep doing it. The room chooses the floor. Water rooms get waterproof floors, vinyl or tile, full stop. No floor is beautiful enough to be worth replacing in year 2. Number 2, the floor that shows everything. This is the daily torture regret. Dark espresso floors, glossy finishes, and pure white floors all share the same curse. They display everything. Dark shows every speck of dust, every pet hair, every footprint, like a chalkboard. Gloss highlights every scratch and smudge. Bright white spotlights every crumb and stain. Homeowners with dark glossy floors describe cleaning constantly, and the floor still looking dirty an hour later. The fix is boring and it works. Mid-tone matte. Medium browns and natural oak tones hide real life because most household dust is gray-brown. It just disappears into a mid-tone floor. Matte hides the scratches gloss puts on display. The dramatic floor photographs beautifully once. The mid-tone matte floor looks clean every day for a decade. Number 1. Buying the floor, not the speck. The most reported regret of all, and it comes in 2 flavors that are secretly the same mistake. Flavor 1, the bargain that was not. A thin vinyl or laminate with a wear layer under 6 or 8 mil looks identical to the good stuff in the store, and it is half the price. Within a year or two, sometimes within months, it is scratched white in the traffic paths, dented and peeling, and the whole floor needs replacing. Do the math on that. The cheap floor at $1.50 that lasts 3 years costs you more per year than the $3 floor that lasts 15. Buy cheap, buy twice, and pay for 2 installs on top. Flavor 2, the trend tax. The hot look of the moment, and for the last decade that meant gray everywhere, feels current the day it is installed and dated shockingly fast. Designers now openly call cool gray floors the look on its way out, and people who bought into it are already paying to rip it out. Both flavors are the same error, choosing with your eyes instead of the label. The floor that survives is the one with the right number on the box, 20 mil wear layer, and the boring timeless tone, warm and mid. Specs age well, trends do not. So before you spend $1 on any floor, run the floor verdict regret test. 3 questions from everything above. 1. Have I seen a big sample in my own room, in my own light for a full day? 2. Does this floor match this room's real life, water, traffic, kids, pets, not just its look? 3. Am I buying a speck or a trend? Is there a real wear layer number on the box in a tone I will still like in 10 years? Sample, room, speck. 3 questions, and you just avoided the regrets 74% of homeowners live with. One last thing, the cheapest insurance in flooring. Whatever you buy 1 extra box and keep it in a closet, not a hot garage. A closet inside the house. Floors get discontinued fast, sometimes within a year or 2, and the day a plank gets damaged or a pipe leaks, that spare box is the difference between a 5-minute swap and tearing your hair out, hunting a discontinued pattern that no longer exists anywhere. Now do the next buyer a favor in the comments. What flooring choice do you regret, and what do you wish someone had told you before you bought it? The regrets in this comment section will save someone thousands. And subscribe before your next flooring trip, because next time we ask the only people with nothing to sell you, the installers, what flooring they put in their own homes. The answers do not match what they sell you all day, and that gap tells you everything. See you there.